how many different kicks are there in our game? Anybody tell me? How many are there? How many different kicks are there in football? Two. There's only two. And what are they? Free kick, scrimmage kick. All right. Free kick is used to do what? Start game. Start game. Also start second half. But when is it also used?
After field goal or try.
Right. Field goal,
Safety.
try, safety. Rule 6 is very important, but it builds off of Rule 224. So always keep your finger there in your place and look. Go to the definition of a kick. So what is a kick? Striking the ball here? Is this a kick? No. Is this a kick?
Keith, this room right here.
No. This is a kick. This is a kick.
No.
This is a kick.
That.
This is a kick. Me, lower leg, 224-1.
You send me this definition.
224-1. Alright. So we have to start a game. We're going to have a kickoff. We're going to start the game with 10 players, right? Good job. We're going to have 11 players. All right. Underline this in your rule book. Free kick lines are always 10 yards apart. Article 1. Let's say we have penalties. Takes the ball down to the, let's say our 10-yard line. Where is ours free kick line?
End zone.
It's the goal line. Okay. So it can even extend into the goal line. Or into the end zone. All right. So 40-yard line is our predetermined by rule kickoff or free kick attempt. Now it can be changed to a penalty, obviously. Don't forget that. After a safety, it's the 20, and through to a spot of awarded fair catch. And that becomes important later. We'll get to that. All right. So can I make a free kick between the hash marks and the top and the bottom of the, let's say the top of the nines?
No.
Can I make a free kick out here? It has to be between the hash marks. Can K designate where that spot can be? Is that one of the 7 places, 7 times they can designate where that kickoff can be? All right. Yes, we can do that. All right. Moving on that. Any questions? All right. Now, when a punt is used following a safety, the ball has to be kicked within 1 step behind K's free kick line. Okay. So I just can't start back here and run up and kick 2 or 3 steps. I have to take 1 step and kick from the 20. All right.
No.
Right.
Within 1 step.
Within 1 step of the 20.
I had a guy that called it one night and said he took 3 steps.
No, you can't take 3 steps.
He can take as many steps as he wants, as long as he gets
Like
within 1 step.
1 step.
As long as the ball is kicked within. Take as many
Take
steps as you want, as long as the ball is kicked in that space.
Must be kept.
Within 1 yard behind.
Get a clarification on that, say it again.
All right, so it says the ball must be kicked within 1 step behind K's free kick line, Article 2.
You could run up.
It's
Right.
taking 4 steps walking up to it.
Right. I understand. All right, good point. All right, so the requirements for a free kick are what for K? You have to have how many men on each side of the kick? 4. Now let's say this, I'm the holder here, right? And I've got 3 guys behind me over here.
That's illegal, you can't do that on your foot.
Good point. That was very good. Good job, Rick. Rick can see that. So for the others that can't see, I've got it on the floor. Can I do this? All right, can I be here with 3 people behind me? Is that legal with balls kicked? Yes. Yes, it is. Any questions on that? I still satisfy the intent of the rule. All right. I just put
Football,
I'm holding
Joe.
the ball like this on the ground, and I've got 3 guys over here, and the other guys over here, and the kicker. Right. And what is the other most important requirement for K? That's 1. What's the second? Everyone has to be within 5 yards. Now, All right. Inside 5 yards, make sure you underline that, inside. So if this is the 35 right here, and my foot's on this line where this chair is, am I legal? No. No.
Be inside.
Now umpires, what are you gonna do? You gonna let that kick get off? Move. Hey, 35, get up. Get up, get in. Now, don't touch my line. When do these become a foul? At the ready? There you go. Sit down. Very good. Time the ball is kicked. Is it a live ball foul or dead ball foul? Dead ball encroachment. 7 and 14. All right. Any questions on that? All right. Now that we've got our alignment for K, where can R be?
10 yards from the
Anywhere
line.
in this side of the line.
Typically, it's the 50-yard line, right? Unless moved by penalty. They have to be 30. Yes. 30 on a 6. Can they be touching that line? No. Cannot be touching that. And we have encroachment again, right? You're gonna kill that, or you're just gonna tell them, hey guys, get up, get up, inside the line. All right? All right.
Chuck, I want to make sure I understood.
Yes.
You were saying at the time of the kick, there has to be 4 players on either side of the ball.
That is correct.
However, anytime after they're ready for play, if anybody's behind more than 5 yards beyond, they have to kick, they have to be the kicker or
Only the kicker.
can be more than 5 yards.
That
At
is-
any time after they're ready for play.
That is true.
Okay.
That's a good point.
We'll make sure I heard you.
That is correct. Did everybody hear that? After the ready, only the kicker can be behind, let's say, the 35 yard. And he has to be the one kicking the ball. Anyone else kicks the ball, what do we got?
Leave the kick.
Without the ready, there doesn't have to be 4 people on either side.
That is correct.
There could be, everybody could be on one side.
And
at
somebody
the
can
time
say,
of the ready.
somebody can say shift, and then they spread out and go 4.
That's correct. But at the time, they could all shift over
That's correct.
just before the kick.
I think they have to let them play until the kick.
After they're ready for play, everybody should be within 5 yards.
4 players must be.
Everybody should be in that 5 yard zone except the kicker.
All right.
At the
So
ready.
true or false on this one?
Hold on, guys, hold
Hold on,
on.
guys. Hold on. Going to Article 5. Can K, once they kick the ball, can R catch a free kick in K's end zone? Can they do that?
Yeah,
Can R
they can catch it.
catch a free kick in K's end
That's
zone?
back to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
K's end zone. It would be really freaky to see that. Okay? You'd have to have Speedy Gonzalez on that outside gunner or something. But if you do, what have you got? Because we know the possession of a live ball, and the opponent's end zone is always
So what now?
fundamental.
Jay kicks it so high.
Possession of a live ball,
Opponent's
opponent's end zone.
All right, hold on, guys.
So possession of a live ball in the opponent's end zone is always a touchdown. So on a free kick, let's just say a wind's blowing 70 miles an hour, they're already kicking off from their own 20 because of penalty or something like that. False kick, it goes in the air, and ours gunner on the outside runs down there, catches it in the end zone. What do you got?
Touchdown.
There you go.
Okay, I get it.
Questions on that? That's what that means. All right. Let's talk about K for a minute. Can K catch or recover a free kick? Okay, they can. All right. If they catch a free kick, what is the result? You blow that ball dead immediately. All right, it is caught by K.
Yes.
Absolutely. Ball is dead.
Immediately.
Does it belong to K?
No.
Who does it belong to?
Or
Belongs belongs to R.
If R touch it, it's still in
Yeah,
play.
it
You
belongs
catch
to
it.
R.
There you go.
It could be cable.
All right, and what else do you have?
So,
You have kick, catch, interference. All right, signal, 33, this, all right? Now, go ahead.
If R muffs the kick and it never touches the ground,
it's the same thing.
and K touches it, the ball's dead. But there's the ball on the catch.
If they
Yes.
had the opportunity to catch that ball and get up there right and catch that ball,
So that would be a kick by K that's.
it's a must. Yeah, it's a touch
Anybody's ball at that point.
So it's a kick that's caught in K ball.
My interpretation of that would be that it is K ball, and that's why.
It's still a kick. It didn't touch the ground.
Right. It's basically a muff, right?
It's still caught because it hasn't caught the ground, it's not returned.
Exactly. Any questions on that, everybody? All right. I need a microphone. So what we're talking about is a kick, free kick, touched by our muff, not possessed, okay? Muff. Still in the air, caught by kick. It's still a kick, right? Has R touched the ball? Absolutely. They've given up their right to possess that ball. That's the way I look at it, yes. And K catches the ball. Whose ball is it?
Okay.
Are you gonna let them return it? No. Absolutely not. But dead ball spot, right? Yeah, going this way. First down. Any questions on that? Moving on. So, we've got a free kick. The ball is, let's talk about K's responsibility during free kick. After the ball is kicked, can they block R until the kick is in there? Can they block R? Sometimes they can. All right. When can they block R? When they can legally what? Possess the football. Right? Or initiates. Or, yes, if R initiates the contact. All right. R initiates the contact, touches the ball, then somebody's gonna have a first down. Any questions on that? So there's two requirements for a free kick in order for K to possess. What are they? It's got to do what? Got to be grounded, and it has to go 10 yards. Does it matter what order that happens? Okay. As long as those two are met. All right. So K can legally possess at that point. All right. So let's talk about first touching. Let's say it doesn't meet one of those requirements. It goes to the 45-yard line, K touches the ball.
Which 45?
K45, good point. Goes to the K45, touched by K, and possessed by R at the R40. What are R's options at that point?
First touching at 45.
There you go. They can take first touching at the 45, okay? Same play. R possesses the ball at the 40. This time they run, they're hit, they fumble on the R45, and K recovers on the R45. Exactly. That does not preclude K from their first touching, because K is what? Remember, on any kick, scrimmage kick, free kick, they are giving up that football. They're giving it away. That does not preclude them from possession, okay? Remember that. That's important. All right. So we don't repeat a free kick. We know that unless a foul occurs prior to change of possession. There's a double foul, or there's an inadvertent whistle during the kick. You got any choice on inadvertent whistle during the kick? Any choice of what do you have to do on that?
Replay.
Kick.
Replay the down, replay the kicking down. Okay, the kicking down. Any questions on that? All right, let's talk about K kicking the ball out of bounds.
You gotta follow first.
All right,
Still in the air.
let's have K kick the ball, and it goes squarely out of bounds at the R15 yard line.
Rico.
What have you got? R does not touch the ball, it's kicked, goes out of bounds at the R15. All right. Back judge or referee is probably gonna grab that. Boom. What are the three options?
Well, you can, the 5-yard penalty.
And
One up.
right, and re-kick.
And then re-kick. Right, you can take the ball 25 yards from where the ball was kicked.
Beyond or behind?
Trick question. That's a good question.
Trick question. There you go.
That's a good question.
Or you can take the ball where it went out of bounds. So those are the three options.
So in that case, you're probably gonna give R the ball
I had the next game. It was so easy.
on the 35 yard line, on their own 35, more than likely, unless they want to re-kick, maybe they want to re-kick. So let's say that the ball, instead of going out of bounds at the 15, R makes an attempt to catch the ball at the 15, an attempt to catch the ball, keyword, muffs it, and it goes out of bounds at the 15. Do we have a free kick out of bounds? R possessed the ball, or tried to possess the ball, touched it, and it went out of bounds at the 15. Now, here's another critical question for you. Do we have lateral placement option on that? No, you do not. Inbound spot only, right, guys? Only inbound spot. You don't have, yes.
What is that lateral?
Just task off after a try, awarded fair catch. That is not one of the 7 conditions that you can have lateral placement with football if you are A or K. Between the hash marks.
Free kick in the end zone. You can have a lateral placement. Free kick in the end zone can have a lateral placement.
Yes. Only if it's a touchback, right? Touchback is one of the 7. If we have a touchback, we do get a lateral placement. So you would get lateral placement. Any questions on that? Remember task off.
Task off.
T-A-S-K-O-F-T.
Task off.
Good. Let's talk about the new rule this year. I'm going to underline it. Probably going to be on the test. Does anybody know what a pop-up kick is? Did you see one? Basically, the ball is directly driven straight into the ground and then comes up in the air. And it looks like what?
Kickoff.
It looks like almost like a punt or a kickoff. Like a pooch kick. Okay. This year, that is illegal. Okay. And the penalty for that is 5 yards. It's a free kick and press. So, this one. Now, when is that illegal? I mean, when are you going to kill that?
Right away.
Bam. All right.
What's the live ball foul?
Dead ball.
Dead ball.
It's a dead ball. You want to throw that flag?
So it's not encroaching?
It is free kick and press, but it is still free kick and press.
No penalty causes.
They're both dead ball fouls.
All right.
But that's a good question, because all the others that we talked about on a free kick are encroachments, and
Right.
this one right here is.
May I address that?
Go ahead.
When those others came in, the 4 men on either side and all that other crap, I tried to explain to the guys on the rules committee that they are not encroachment. If you look at the definition, someone's illegally in the neutral zone, and none of those things, on what we discussed earlier, matched that up. And I tried to get them to say it's a free kick infraction. Well, they didn't. But then when we wrote this one this year, they agreed it was free kick infraction, but they won't go back and change the other one. I'll keep trying until we get the other ones correct, because that's what they are. And it's a good point that you made, because that's exactly what they are. Certainly not encroachment. So if you give the free kick infraction signal out there instead of encroachment, nobody's gonna know the difference, because that's what they are.
Just like on the four on either side of the ball requirement on the free kick, was that ever discussed to be an illegal formation foul?
That's part of it. I gave them all kind of options, but they stuck with encroachment.
Understood. Thank you, Bruce.
Is that an exam question?
Yes.
If somebody kicks the ball and it hits 5 yards down, it pops up, same thing?
Immediately off the tee.
The word immediately is the key there.
Immediately is your key word. Immediately off the tee. It's like they're kicking it straight into the ground. All right, let's talk, so that's our free kick, right? All right. Let's talk about one more thing before we leave free kick. All right. Let's say that, we talked about the fouls on a free kick, right?
I think so.
We know that a foul occurred prior to change possession, the penalty acceptance requires the play of the down, right? So, let's say we have first touching. We got first touching by K in the neutral zone on their own 45, to make it easy. And R takes the ball and receives it on their 20, runs to the 30, but on the 25, R15 clips. They got clipping on the 25 yard. Do the receivers have the right to take the ball now at the spot of first touch? No. You're going to take that ball back to the 25-yard line. You're going to go half the distance of the goal. We're going 12 and a half. First down.
If they accept it, if it's accepted, if they don't have to, if they don't accept it.
Right.
Yes.
If R commits a foul after first touching, after they possess the ball, the first touching goes away, whether the penalty is
Accept
accepted
it
or
on
not.
25.
Okay.
Any foul written down is accepted.
Any-
The penalty is accepted.
Right.
It goes away. Or foul, if R commits a foul after they have the ball.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. Good job. All right. So K may punt, drop kick, or place kick from in or behind the neutral zone on a scrimmage kick before team possession is changed. Let's talk about briefly the requirements for a scrimmage kick formation. What are they? How many are there? How many scrimmage kick formations are there? There's two, right? One player at least how many yards behind the snapper? 7. And one player in position to kick the ball no more than how many yards? 3. All right, behind him. All right. And the other formation is what? One player in position to receive a direct snap, at least 10 yards behind the snap. All right. So you're saying, Chuck, so we can't kick on first, second, and third down. That's wrong. You can execute a scrimmage kick on any down. Not only that, do you have to be in scrimmage kick formation to execute a scrimmage kick? No. You do not. All right. You used to watch Tebow all the time. He would take that ball on third down. They'd be on the 38-yard line. He'd sit right there. All right. So on that play, and the reason the scrimmage formations are important is why? What is the number one reason? One of the number one reasons, let's put it that way.
Numbering.
Numbering. 216, 2H. Look at it, read it. I'm not gonna.
Roughing the snapper.
Roughing the snapper is another one. And what are your umpires doing? Stay off on snapper, right? Don't rough it, stay off on snapper. Right. Give them that warning. So now we're in scrimmage kick formation. Any receiver may catch or recover the kick in play in advance. And this is important and underlined. Unless it is during a try or unless R has given a valid or invalid fair catch signal. All right? And then, just like a free kick, R may catch or recover a scrimmage kick in K's end zone. You got a touchdown. All right? So, let's just talk about a try for just a little bit. All right? It is basically a field goal formation, field goal attempt formation. You're trying for one. As soon as that ball, let's say it's an attempt, the ball is kicked, Doug blocks it, I pick it up and run it in. I've got 2 points, right? No. Wrong, exactly. That play is over immediately, and you are gonna blow that whistle as soon as what? As I repossess that football. Any questions on that? Let's say the same play happens and K doesn't repossess that ball, but R does, takes off and goes 80 yards into the end zone. Fly ball? No. That ball is dead as soon as R gains possession. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. We talked about, let's talk about the expanded neutral zone, especially as it pertains to a kick, a scrimmage kick. How big is the expanded neutral zone?
2 yards.
2 yards, right? 2 yards, up to 2 yards. Does it extend into the end zone?
No.
That's important, that has been a test question, okay? It does not extend into the end zone. All right. It allows for blocking and things of that nature in the expanded neutral zone. So I'm kicking the ball, and I've got a 30-yard field goal attempt from the right hash, and Doug is he's just a great athlete, and I know he was. In his day. And he jumps up and he blocks that thing, and he's in the expanded neutral zone. Ball dribbles back behind in that expanded neutral zone here. Who can recover this ball? Who can recover that football? Anybody. Right? This is a live ball. Okay. Can K pick it up and run it? Yep. But it's 4th and 10. They make 11 yards. First and 10. I got a first down. All right. So I'm in a legal scrimmage kick formation. I got an end over here, number 85, and my gunner is off, and I see 85 open. After he kicks his block, I pick it up and throw it past him. Yep. Good? Yep. Still good, right? So my coach is going to be on my butt if I don't get this kick off this time. I've already got it blocked once. I get it again. I'm running over here and I do the little rugby thing over here. Can I do that? Yep. I still kick it again? Yep. Exactly. All right, let's talk about one situation. It's not 4th down. It's 3rd down. I've got to get 10. All right? The kick is blocked. Doug blocks it again, and I recover it, and I get 5 yards. Whose ball is it?
Where's the
ball? It's 4th down and 5, right? Yeah, exactly. It is 4th and 5. Still K's ball. And let's just dive a little bit back into Rule 3 for a second. When are you going to start the clock? Or you're going to go on the ready on that, or are you going to go on the snap?
You're ready.
The ball is kicked.
Go 5 yards. If he runs it, goes 5 yards, then it stops.
Clock didn't stop.
Right, doesn't stop, keeps going.
All right.
How about the block punt behind the line, he runs 11 yards.
Right. Then you're going to
Goes on the snap.
Everybody understand that? Kick down. Say it again. Say it again.
You have a legal kick, and a new series is awarded to either K or R. It doesn't matter that the ball crosses the line. He had a kick that was blocked. He ran, got tackled in bounds, 12 yards down the field, he got a first down. The clock starts on the snap. By rule. If you listened to me in Rule 3, you would have known that.
We knew it all along. We knew it all along.
I know you did. You're all right.
When you have 4th and 5.
You have 4th and 5.
The ball starts, the clock starts on.
I'll never
stopped.
They never stopped.
The clock never stopped.
Right.
Never stopped.
They never stopped.
The point that play is gonna stop no matter who,
Right.
whether he makes it or not.
Exactly, you want to snap regardless.
It was on a long punt.
Chuck, in your play, you had K gaining 5 yards with possession of the ball, which made it 4th and 5,
Beyond the line of scrimmage.
beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
But how about if they kicked on 3rd down and the ball goes 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, blocked or something, and goes out of bounds, even though it's 3rd down,
You're gonna go on the snap, because the ball went out of bounds.
the ball's out of bounds, but whose ball is it?
It's our ball.
Yeah.
Our change possession.
Even though it's 3rd down.
Exactly, even if the, listen to that, that's a good point.
Once they
Dan.
kick and it's a low
Yes,
ball. it's out of
even
bounds.
if the ball went to go out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, whose ball is it?
Or,
It's still our ball. Everybody understand that?
One more situation, on a simultaneous recovery.
Yes, let's talk
Still
about
gonna be an hour blow.
Let's talk about simultaneous for just a minute. Free kick, scrimmage kick. It doesn't matter, the rule in the book is the same. Simultaneous catch by opposing players on a kick belongs to who?
Our.
All right. Let's talk about an awarded fair catch, let's talk about fair catch and a free kick after an awarded fair catch. Let's say it's 4th and 5 on the 5-yard line and we're down by 3 for defense. All right, R. Down by 3, 4th and 5, from the 5, going out. K punts the ball. I'm gonna signal, is this fair catch?
no.
Yeah, this is a fair catch. Yes. And you back judges back there, please ask the receiver to show you his fair catch. Or just at least make sure he knows when to do the fair catch. Right? Don't do this, none of this stuff, get away. You know, none of that. Good. Good. Concept. All right. So we've got a situation where we talked about joint possession on that, and that's going to be our ball. But we're talking about an awarded fair catch. Awarded fair catch. I make a fair catch on the K 30-yard line. I'm down by 3, 6 seconds left. First of all, do I have lateral placement?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I've got a right footed kicker. He wants that ball over toward that right hash, so he can put that baby in. Right? I'm going to execute a free kick after an awarded fair catch. Can that score 3?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to put that ball down on the 30. Where is our free kick line if I'm on the 30?
20.
20-yard line. And I have basically an unimpeded attempt to tie that football game. Send it in overtime. Any questions on that?
Can you drop kick it?
You can drop kick from anywhere on the field. Any kick can be drop kick. Free kick or scrimmage kick. It doesn't matter. All right? How many have seen a drop kick? I saw Doug
Flutie.
Doug Flutie did it. And he nailed it.
See soccer, go into it all the time.
Drop kick is simply, by definition, and then kick it like that. I'll never do that again in my life. All right. Look at the table. Let me just use that play one more time, because I want to make a point of it, and this has been on the test before. If I have an awarded fair catch on the 30-yard line, all right, on the very next play, I've got defensive holding on number 77 on my tight end. I got a 10-yard penalty. I'm now on the 20-yard line. Do I still have lateral placement?
Yes.
Yes. You do not lose the right of lateral placement. You still maintain that. Any questions on that? I wanted to make that a point because I have been on the test
You can now choose to do that free kick for free too, right?
Yes, I'm still gonna, yeah, I can still go free.
He can change his mind
Yeah,
now.
I can change my mind now since I'm on the 20 and snap the ball. I got a good quarterback, I got a good play, I'm gonna go for a win here. Okay, any questions on that? All right. Look at the table on page 56. This gives you a good overview of the results of the activities that happen during scrimmage kicking and what R can do and what K can do. We talked about it. We talked about scrimmage kick recovered beyond neutral zone may be advanced only by R. The kick recovered in behind the neutral zone can be advanced by either team. Kick not recovered by either team belongs to R, and a kick jointly recovered by R and K belongs to R. Back judges. Who's my back judges in here? All right. Ball's rolling on a punt and becomes motionless. What are you gonna do?
Kill it.
You're gonna kill it. Whose ball is it? All day long. All right. So just make sure you kill it. So a kickoff for a free kick, now this is important. Unless you've got, there's an old movie out in the 70s called Gus. It was about this stupid mule that could kick a ball about 120 yards. You probably remember that movie. So I had to finish it. Okay. So we've had a safety and we're lining up for a free kick, and I've got bionic kicker, and he kicks the ball from his 20 and it goes through the uprights on the opposite end of the field. If I got 3 points?
No touchback.
That's a touchback, no matter how good he is. We talked about the kick being jointly recovered by R and K, belongs to R. All right. This is important, especially for penalty enforcement. Until the kick ends, who's in possession of the kick? Who owns the ball? K owns that ball. Until the kick ends. Kick in, how? Possessed? Or dead by rule? 1, 2. All right. Now we know that any kick going into R's end zone is always a what? It's always a touchback. It doesn't matter. I was at Barnwell one night, and I'm not kidding you, the football on the opening kickoff was muffed 7 times. 7 times by R. K recovers the ball in the end zone, the band strikes up, and everybody's going berserk. I'm sitting back there and what do you have? The touchback. That's exactly what. Had to explain that one.
You got it right, huh?
Got that one. All right. So let's talk about, we haven't talked about force yet. Now, force is results from a carry, snap, pass, kick, or fumble, right? One of those 5 is initial force. So here we are, okay. So this is part of our rule. All right. So initial force is established by one of those 5 points. A new force results from a legal bat, a bat or a legal kick, or a muff, right? One of those 3 can change the force. So when we're on our, let's say we're on our 5-yard line, we're kicking the ball, it's blocked, boom, goes over my head, I'm the kicker, out of the end zone. What do you got? You got a touchback or a safety? What put the kick out of the end zone? The kick put the ball out of the end zone. Okay. All right, same play, ball blocked, rolling at the 2-yard line. R tries to pick it up, muffs it, it goes out of bounds in the end zone, over the sideline. What have you got then?
Only force you chose the football.
Right, he muffed it into the end zone. So he forced it. Right, or forced it. Use the word force in that case. But then you have what? A touchback. You have a touchback, you have a new force. Force changed.
Is that
You
right?
have a new force.
Chuck, would you say that again? You can get that scenario again.
So arm muffs the ball on the 2-yard line. Attempt to pick it up and muff it, and it goes into and out of the side of the end.
The kick has an end.
That's new for us.
The kick has an end.
If you use,
When does the kick, when does the
if
kick
you,
end? When does the kick
if you
end?
use the word force, if you use the word, he's forcing it.
So you're saying a new force,
If
but
you-
it's still a
If
kick.
you use the word force on
Yeah.
it, then that's,
You just said it muffed it.
That'd be nearly at rest.
but he used the word force.
Yeah.
You can't apply the force on a kick. Or that's not,
And that's
not
why I
grounded.
asked that question.
And that,
That's
When
not
you said
grounded.
the ball was at the rolling at the 2-yard line,
Right.
that's why I said, well, what force put it in?
It's force.
Was
It's a
it,
force.
was it a new added force or was it still?
My intent was to say that a new force impetus was on the field.
Okay.
That test question last year.
But that's still a kick, correct?
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Bruce, would you like to chime in on this?
now you brought it up. By definition, it's still a kick, right?
Yes.
What has caused it to be, not to be a kick? Nothing. We just now said a kick back in his own end zone
Safety.
is a safety.
Well, once you cross,
What it doesn't matter. If I kick it, then it ricochets off your head down there and comes back.
Safety.
Still a kick.
well, once you
But
cross,
if you
once you
determine,
cross the
if
goal
you
line,
determine that he tried to
Let me
pick it
ask
up, if you determine that he tried to pick it up and literally shoved it in there, then we got to do force.
Right.
But if he just muffs it, I'm trying to get it, and I'm reaching down to get it, and you know how they're trying to grab it and their foot hits it, and it goes in the end zone.
Right.
What do you have?
It's force.
That's why you get paid to officiate. You have to make a determination that it was a new force or not.
Let me read this, it's part
We
of
use the word
the
force.
definition of force. Go to 213, page 28. Page 28.
I missed the
After a
question.
fumble, kick, or backward
He used
pass
the word
has
force.
been grounded,
On the kick.
and this is a key word here, a new force may result from a bat, an illegal kick, or a muff. That's exactly right.
So if R bats,
May.
if R bats that thing into the end zone, you'd have illegal batting.
Yes, we also have illegal batting.
Did you read Article 3 under
The
that
bat
same
can be
definition?
on the fly. On the fly.
That's in flight, because my example ball already.
Yeah, that's right.
You're gonna have a heck of a lot better chance of selling it as a safety than you are a touchback. Because what happens as a touchback? Whose ball is it and where?
Okay.
He's at
That's
20.
right.
When he was just punting from his own 2 or his own end zone, you'll have a better chance selling it as a safety than you do a touchback. Because now the coach over there
We use the word
game,
force.
we just stopped him there, you give him the ball back at the 20-yard line.
No, it's a
So you better make sure it is a new force. You better
Right.
be, dang well better be able to sell it too. Because you're gonna have an unsportsmanlike conduct. At least one.
And you gotta come see Charlie on Monday.
Yeah, it's gotta be darn obvious that that is a new force. If there's any doubt in your mind, it's not.
Good point.
But, you know, you see them all the time running and trying to pick up the ball, and as their hands go down, their foot hits, and that just shoots that back there. That's gonna be a safety when I'm back there, but I'm not a referee, so I don't care.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
With that being said, I ain't got my glasses. A free kick, in flight, muffed or out of bounds. So who put the ball out? Oh. Is that a new force?
No. No.
Scrimmage kick, that's a free kick. What's the big difference? One direction.
Force going towards.
Force only applies flies in one direction and inside whose 5-yard line?
It's only one direction.
All right. All right. Let's talk about K running across the line of scrimmage and executing a legal kick on a scrimmage kick. What have you got? Ran past the line of scrimmage. You have an illegal kick which carries a 10-yard penalty? It said 15. 15? Very good. Very good. And the signal for the kick. This, and point to the top. 15 yards.
Fair call? Was it fair call? Was the ball fair call? Yeah.
You could take a fair cut.
I know what you're talking about. Bad judges.
It can be fair.
Rob?
He can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Signals
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, but you're gonna have 9 Ws.
No, you're not. If you keep them damn whistles out your mouth, you can't have it.
No, wait.
Skip
Skip makes a good point. Skip makes a good point. The bad judge in that situation has a greater likelihood of having an IW because he's not.
Except they're gonna substitute it, so it's.
Exactly.
Listen, if you have an IW in the playoffs, so you're gonna suspend yourself.
All right.
Might taste good.
That's 35 years experience.
All right, let's talk about fair catch.
It helped
Are
me.
you a practice?
So we've already talked about fair catch a little bit. We know what can do a fair catch. This is not a fair catch. This is not a fair catch. Is this a fair catch?
Yes.
And that's what you want to say. Now, we have what we call an invalid fair catch, and we have an illegal fair catch. I've got a punt. I'm punt the ball, and all 11 guys do this. Is that legal?
Yes.
All 11 are.
Yes.
Are they all afforded protection?
No.
Yes, sir.
The one they can't.
They are. That's right. They are not allowed to block until the kick ends. All right? And that's signal 43, and that's 15, that's a 10-yard penalty. They gave it away, did. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's an illegal block, signal 43, but it is a 15-yard penalty. Most illegal blocks are how many? 10-yard penalty. Remember that. It'll be on the test. R cannot block until the kick ends. Any questions on that? All right, so let's talk about the differences between an invalid fair catch and an illegal fair catch. When do you have an invalid fair catch? An invalid fair catch is what?
That is not valid.
Full possession.
Anything that's not valid.
Ball hits the ground,
Right.
it hits our player.
Exactly, and before the kick is ended, right? All right, let's say I catch this football coming down. All right, I start running. I want to fair catch.
That's illegal.
That's illegal, right? So there's your difference. All right, any questions on that?
The ball comes down and hits a member of K, and our signals for fair catch, it's valid, it's a fair catch.
It's a fair catch.
Not one of the 3.
Right.
Hit K.
How about if the
Yeah.
our player who catches the ball and starts running, and another back who's back there with him starts giving the signal?
That's also illegal.
Sorry?
Illegal's gotta be given by
We're just gonna
the
ignore that.
Yeah.
It's gotta be by the runner.
Right.
We're just gonna
By the
ignore
ball
that.
carrier.
Yeah, we're not gonna, we're gonna change it. What Dan's saying is the ball's already crossed, and then this guy over here, my teammate, goes, yeah.
Yeah, do you expect to do some 1-8 games this year?
I'm playing that deep umpire position.
Hey, Chuck, doing that same thing that you just said. He catches the ball, he runs 5 yards and stops and does that. When do you blow the whistle?
Right then.
Rick, what'd you say?
All right, he's doing he catches the ball, he runs 5 yards, he stops and gives a fair catch signal. We all know that's an illegal fair catch at the spot right there.
Where's the spot on the foul?
Right where he stopped and gave the illegal. Okay, when do you blow the whistle?
I'm gonna blow it right when.
He can stop that. He can stop at when?
You gonna stop him?
He can stop that.
So when do you blow the whistle? It's a live ball, it's still a live ball.
No, you're not gonna blow it.
So he does this, he runs 5 yards, he does this and stops, and everybody's looking at him.
Give him opportunity. Yeah. He doesn't react.
He doesn't react, all the players stop.
Everybody stops.
When do you blow the whistle? The ball's still live.
You don't blow the whistle. I'm gonna look at it.
I did. That happened to me in a JV game at Batesburg. He ran 5 yards, single fair catch. Everybody stopped, looked at him. He just stood there with the ball in his arm.
What did he eventually do with the ball?
What did you do?
Well, he stood there and everybody stopped. I said, boo!
Is it in the playoffs?
And it was not the playoffs. So the question is when can you blow the whistle? I blew it.
Lays the ball down.
He just stood there with it.
When he gives it to you, when he hands it to you.
That's another question. So, you've got to protect that guy right there if he stops. Yeah. I blew it. Everybody stopped and started running away, and I just blew it. If you think so, running, you're still going to go back to that punch. You stay right in the legal fair catch.
All right, let's talk about one other thing. Here we go, guys. Scrimmage kick. I got a kick coming down. Scrimmage kick. Come here, Danny. Coming down. And I'm running up. And I hit Danny before I catch the football.
Kick catch.
What am I getting? Kick catch. Interference. All right, the live ball foul. What are the options for R in that situation?
What if fair catch? 15 yards and a
What is fair catch? 15 yards from that spot, or they can have K penalized 15 yards from the previous spot and replay the down.
Or after 15 yards, a free kick.
Yes. Yes, that's what I said first. Awarded fair catch, 15 yards, or 15 yards from the previous spot and replay the down.
In that case, the clock starts on the ready.
So you got 3 options. So we got 2 options.
You play, right?
Nobody takes the results from play.
Which is an option.
Yeah. So let's say Danny, I catch it over Danny's head. He can run. I'm not gonna take it 4 options.
Or you can take that spot.
Yeah, take it as a spot. Any questions on that? All right. Let's talk about, just to review, invalid and illegal. We know what those are. Signal 32. You see it on the tab. Signal 32. 5 yards. Any questions on that? All right. Any questions about Rule 6? Go ahead.
Question, scrimmage kick. R1, give the fair catch signal. You got R2, in fact they agree. R1 must. R2 catches. What do we have? Do we have a fair catch? And then R2.
All it is not considered, for test purposes, it is not a fair catch, but the ball is dead by rule.
Is he afforded protection?
Who, the one that did not signal?
No.
No. No, he is not a forfeit.
And on the field.
Only the receiver that gives a valid fair catch signal is a forfeit.
Even though the ball's dead.
Yes.
Right.
Only the dead.
You said this
Now, you
one.
could have a personal foul if he gets blown up.
You said for Pittsburgh, that's the way it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If it's any questions on that? All right, now, I got, give me 5 minutes. I got some video clips here. We're gonna take a look now. My disclaimer on this is these are college plays, okay? So don't get confused or too bogged down. I just want you to see what we're talking about. Look for your 4 men either side of the kicker. Look for encroachment.
Yep, look that in.
And we're gonna look at kick out of bounds.
Go ahead.
All right.
Those lights up front?
Bring the light. All right. They're all on the line. It's illegal, right? Yeah. Good job. In high school football, that's illegal. Okay, we have a kick. It goes out of bounds. Looks like it goes out of bounds on the 3-yard line. So what are your options here?
Take it where it went out of bounds.
Right.
Back him up 5 yards and re-kick it.
Right, or 25 yards from the previous spot, going to the 35, 40 to the 35. Just several different views of the same play here. You really see it go out right there. And you really want it, for mechanics purposes, bad judges and referees, be on that pylon. Be right on that pylon. Make sure that ball either goes over your left shoulder or your right shoulder. If it goes over your left shoulder, you're on the pylon. Touchback, right shoulder, probably going to be a free kick out of bounds. All right, moving on. Snowy field here. We have 4 on either side, yes? Good.
Did he attempt to catch that?
All right.
In high school, you should have never let that play go off
Right. Why?
because there was not, they were behind the line.
Exactly. Good job. Did R touch that ball?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So we're going to spot it right there. He's moving in the spot. 24 yards. We're going to see it one more time. R muffs the kickoff. He muffs it out of bounds. We know the difference between a fumble and a muff, right?
Yes.
You cannot have a muff without a fumble without first having what? Possession. There you go. First and 10 on 24 going out. Of course, our hash marks are 53 foot 4 inches and not 60 feet. Again, these are college plays. But I wanted to give you just some videos on what we're talking about. We're talking about kick out of bounds and various things. Move on to, let's look at some KCIs. KCIs, do you have to have contact to have a KCI? No. You do not. It is obstruction of R's path to the football. Let's watch this one here. We got a fair catch, valid fair catch. What do we got here? 27. 27. There's your single.
Now, if he's blocked into that guy, that's ignored.
Exactly. Good point.
Sometimes the judge needs help.
Yep. You gotta help them out. You gotta work with the crew out. Fair catch. Yeah.
He wasn't blocked.
Wasn't blocked in. Was he blocked in?
No.
You know, watch it again one more time. Not blocked in. Wasn't pushed. 27. Now, Walter, you've got to go explain what's coach later. All right, move on to the next one.
Which one?
Let's go to, we didn't talk about, a lot about this in this rule. It'll be discussed further later. But let's talk about blocking before end of kick. And then we'll do one or two roughing and running into kickers. Personal thanks to the Big 12 for this video.
I don't know how far to skip ahead.
Hey Chuck,
Yeah.
does the kicker get protection if they punt on third down in a shotgun formation?
Yeah.
So they go for the block, they rough the kicker? Is that a
No,
foul?
no, wait.
Yeah, if they're in kick formation.
Kick formation.
Kick formation, yeah, kick formation.
They're in shotgun formation.
roughing the
Shotgun?
shotgun is not nothing to do.
No. Shotgun, no.
Nothing to do with, the 10 yards has nothing to do with roughing.
Could you have roughing the kicker?
You can still have roughing the kicker.
If you're 7 yards back. There's nothing in that one, Chuck.
Roughing the holder.
There's nothing in that one.
I mean, roughing the snapper.
There was nothing in that one.
Okay. Go with running into the kicker. All right, referees, you're up. Is that a valid signal? Is that a good signal?
Yeah.
Good signal. Good job. We're in a scrimmage kick punt formation there. Watch the contact, if any.
These are good.
You powder puffed him a little bit. Now you gotta go explain to coach.
Looks like he said 5 yard penalty.
If you hit the planted leg, it's 15. Hit the leg in the air, it's 5.
I personally probably wouldn't have thrown that flag.
That's the interpretation.
That's the way I look at it. Five, leg in the air, 15.
What if the high school goes? You don't really throw it up.
It's a reasonable rule interpretation. Boys don't make deal, look at that.
That's chaos football.
All right, next one.
Yeah. We're playing in Kansas.
Go to roughing. Let's go to roughing. What referees, what do y'all look for on roughing the kicker? What do you look for as far as contact goes? What did you say, Robbie? There you go. Right there.
What?
Plant leg.
What'd you say?
Watch the plant leg. Watch the plant leg. The leg that is planted right before the kick. If it's displaced, then you probably got roughing the kicker. Watch the ball if it comes. All right, what do we got? Touching.
He had a flag down.
He wipes him out. I'm going to give him that. I'm going to call that roughing. He wipes him out.
It's just a fan, that's all.
Any chance to protect themselves.
All right, any questions? Any questions on Rule 6? Thanks, guys. Good man.